So more about 5.2 is the description of a graph, of a polynomial. No longer are we just working with quadratics, where it's just a happy face or a sad face. Now it's like a sad face, happy face. There's things that look all funky monkey like this. So the graphs are looking more complicated, so we're going to find more interesting stuff about it. So there are a lot of terminology to learn. This here is the terminology of saying a turning point. So a turning point is what it is, right? It's when you change directions, right? So when it goes from increasing to decreasing, or decreasing to increasing. So here, notice that a turning point is when I'm increasing, and then I suddenly decrease. So this is my first turning point, right? Because it turned directions. And then here, I'm going down, and then I suddenly go up. So this is my second turning point. And then that's it, right? So here, I have 2 turning points. And notice something. How many x-intercepts do I have? 3, right? So I have 3 x-intercepts, right? All right, so now looking at this, there's going to be a relationship between the intercepts and the turning point and the degrees. Intercepts, turning points, and degrees. And this is the relationship. Okay. So here, if I have something to some degree, so the degree is the highest exponent of a polynomial. That's a degree. So looking at this example here, without graphing it, determine its behavior, right? And first of all, we're going to find out what is the degree of this polynomial. So it's the highest exponent, so the degree is 10, right? So the degree here is 10. So we say n, meaning the degree, is 10, right? The degree is 10, looking at the highest exponent. And then we ask yourself, based on this information here, how many x-intercepts will I have? So it says that a polynomial of degree n will have at most n x-intercepts. So if there's 10 degrees, what's the most x-intercepts that it'll have? 10. So at most, 10 intercepts, 10 x-intercepts. So can I have 9? Yes. So if it says at most 10, that means it could have 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can I have 11? No. Can I have 10? Yes. So anything between 1 to 10, right? Or 0 to 10, 0 to 10. So at most 10 intercepts. And then turning points. So this is degree. So turning points, how many times is it going to switch direction? How many times is it going to go up and down, right? So here the definition says a polynomial of degree n will have at most n x-intercepts and n minus 1 turning points. So this problem here, how many turning points am I going to have? 9. And how did you get 9? 10 minus 1, right? So pretty simple, right? So here, this graph, I had 3 x-intercepts, 2 turning points. What do we think my degree might be? Or what is a degree? What is it? 3. And how do we know it's 3? Well, it could be. It has to be at least 3, right? At most 3. So the intercepts kind of gives us, okay, that's at most it could have. Because it could be, if we have 3 x-intercepts, the degree could be 4, could be 5, could be 6, right? But then what tells us what the degree is the turning points. There's 2 turning points, so therefore the degree has to be 1 more than the turning point, right? So this is 2, this has to be 3. So that's how we know it's 3. The x-intercept just says at most it'll have 3. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So here, let me ask you guys, how many x-intercepts are there? That's the easiest one to answer, right? 2, right? It crosses the x-axis twice. 2. How many turning points are there? Right. So let's check. 1, 2, 3, right? So there are 1, 2, 3. There are 3 turning points. And therefore, what is the degree? N equals to 4, right? Because it's 1 more than the turning point, right? And it's okay for the x-intercept to be less than the degree. The x-intercept is always less, it's always equal to or less than the degree. But then the turning point is always just 1 less than it, based on this relationship between the 3 of them. So here, we said, what can we conclude? We can conclude that the polynomial is of degree 4. The polynomial is of degree 4 with 2 x-intercepts and 3 turning points. So that means that when you write down the function, it's going to have x to the 4th, blah, 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 right? The highest exponent is x to the 4th.